All right, so I'm here now with Marshall and Drew, two of the speakers that were featured today at the Homebrew Festival. I think, Marshall, is this your first time here at the festival?
First time at the festival. Fantastic event, by the way.
Awesome.
Man.
And tell me, what was your favorite question of your presentation?
There was one question, above all, that had to do with what the person referred to as a fanny pack.
Ah.
Yeah, but it's not a fanny pack.
It's not. It's
a brutality belt.
Ah, that is very sexy. I might have to see if those are available somewhere.
They certainly are, and it's just full of brutality.
Awesome. And then most of your talk was actually more about what you usually do on your podcast. Was there a special highlight you want to mention, or?
Yeah, I mean, the focus of today's talk, I figured, given the kind of the environment that we're in, that to keep it relatively simple and to talk about different ways that homebrewers can get into experimenting themselves. There's kind of more practical or pragmatic approaches to experimentation that may not be as intensive as what we do over at Brewlosophy or what Drew and Denny are doing with Experimental Brew. But then we talked a little bit about how they could do that too if they wanted to, and the requirements that it's going to take to split batches or to brew two batches side by side and stuff like that.
That's awesome. Well, I really enjoyed your speech.
Thanks.
Probably more than this guy's, but
that's natural. Yeah.
I've heard him talk a bunch of times, so I'm grading.
You're bored by me now.
Yes. So Drew, you have been to the Homebrew Festival a few times.
I think this is like year 13 or 15.
Awesome. How has the festival changed in your view?
Well, I mean, I think the biggest thing is you can look out here across the crowd that we're seeing, and even though it's raining right now and we're fortunately undercover, this has gotten much, much bigger. I mean, when I first started coming to this, there were like 20 clubs, and now, this is what, like 40 clubs and more food and more speakers and more presentations. It's become like even more awesomer of an awesome party than it was already awesome to be.
Can you get one more awesome in there for me?
Awesome.
Excellent. And so your speech was more about keeping things simple.
Yeah.
Like, what is sort of like the biggest way that somebody can simplify their process in your mind?
Well, I'm always a recipe guy, so I think of this primarily in terms of, you look at like the typical homebrewer reaction about how they go and make a recipe, and their recipe is to go into the homebrew shop and they go and they look, I have all these grain choices in front of me. I'll do a little bit of this, I'll do a little bit of that, and a little bit of this, and the next thing you know, you got 10 malts and 5 hops, and what really comes out of the end is sort of a beer that tastes muddied, muddled, or as I like to say, brown. Brown is a flavor.
It is.
And I really think it's important for people to get their heads around the idea that you don't get recipe complication or complexity from all the ingredients that you have. You get it from the interplay of the ingredients that you have. And the more focused you can make it, the better that actually shines.
I could not agree more. So awesome. Well, thank you guys for coming over to talk with me. Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's go drink some more beer.
Cheers. Oh, if you insist.